Hi, everyone. Super excited to be chatting with you all today about our new beta feature, Daily Lift. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Brooke. I'm on the product team here at Tonal, and I'm really excited to be here with Jacob, who is on our performance innovation team. Our product and performance teams work incredibly closely at Tonal, really working to raise the bar on every feature that goes through our door to ensure that it meets all of the really critical performance science principles that are the foundation of not only our programming, but of course, each and every feature. And we're super excited to be talking about Daily Lift today, which is the first workout on Tonal that is personalized just for you. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're talking about here. Um, in the same way that a personal trainer would, we are taking into account with Daily Lift your preferences, your recent training history, all oriented around intelligently designing a workout that's going to be effective and efficient. So you can just focus on showing up and putting the work in. And what that means, you can see every day, you're going to log in to your tonal and you're going to see a fresh workout that is built just for you. It refreshes every night at midnight. So we're always adapting, taking the latest data into account. And Jacob will share more about exactly how this workout is personalized to you, but you can think about things like your muscle readiness and recovery, your preferences, your goals on tonal and working towards a weekly volume objective. So we're really working to ensure that your daily lift is always going to be appropriately challenging, keep you engaged, and offer something fresh with some variety. But what's really exciting about Daily Lift, which again, we'll chat more about, is we're really leveraging all of those critical principles that our performance innovation team uses to develop the workouts and programs on Tonal that you already love. And we're really excited to be able to do this in a custom format. So you're going to have you won't have the coach working out alongside you, but you're always going to see a movement demo so you know exactly, the right form, but you're going to be able to go at your own pace. So that means you can be really efficient in your sessions. And it also enables us to make these workouts highly flexible. So not only are you going to get this, personalized, intelligent workout for you each and every morning, but as you can see on your mobile app, you're actually able to go in and customize that workout. You can adjust your duration. You can also adjust your specific target muscle regions. We have five different options of push, pull, upper body, legs, and full body. So really, whatever you need that day, you're able to adjust your daily lift. So we're really excited to chat more about this. We're going to talk in a lot more detail about how all of this is made possible. But before I pass it off to Jacob to go into more of the specifics, I did want to give a little bit of background as to why we built this feature and kind of how this came to be. So we talk to you guys all the time. We have the benefit of our incredible official tonal community. We hear from you all so often, and we're so appreciative because it's really your feedback that informs the features that make it onto our roadmap. And something that we've definitely heard loud and clear is that it can be incredibly hard to stay consistent. I mean, it's the summer. I think all of us are feeling it. Your schedule changes. Maybe you have a little less time to work out than you previously did, but it's still so important in your grand scheme of progression to stay consistent. And we were really thinking about how can we deliver a feature that is going to eliminate some of the most common barriers to jumping in. And we've heard a lot from you guys. Some of what we've heard is, reducing decision fatigue. How can we take all of the guesswork out of picking your next workout, not spending time searching and just jumping in with a tap? So we're really excited to have again that automatically generated workout. There's also the value of mixing up your routine. So whether it's different movements, different workout structures, there's so much that you can do on tonal, but it's also really easy to get stuck in a rut of a particular maybe type of programming, or even if you're programming your own workout. So I'm excited to introduce some variety. And of course, for whether you're a program user or you like to schedule your workouts, sometimes you really just have to adapt to changes in your schedule. And maybe you just get a bad sleep and you're not quite up for an hour-long workout. I have definitely been there. So Daily Lift is really your always available option, whether it's the automatically generated version you see when you first log in, or you need to make some customizations to get it precisely to the point you want. We're really just trying to make it smarter and easier to develop workouts that are just right for you, whether you want to take our recommendation or make some adjustments on your own. So building these workouts certainly is no easy feat, and there's a lot that went into it to ensure that we could feel really confident in the workouts that we're introducing each and every day. And it means that we're leveraging a lot of key performance principles, a lot of partnership cross-functionally here at Tonal between, of course, product and performance, but I mean, notably our data science team who really builds the foundation of all the intelligence here at Tonal and our developers who really bring this to life and our designers who feed into making this all feel incredibly seamless and exciting to jump into. So I'd love to pass it over to Jacob, maybe to talk about some of more of the specifics of how these performance science principles really were the basis for how we create these daily lift workouts.
Yeah, thank you, Brooke, and thank you for the context. And even before jumping into the development, when you said decision fatigue, my mind just went straight to like searching for a show or a movie on Netflix, and sometimes I'll ruin my night because it takes me so long. So I feel like the Daily Lift is almost like the your personalized Friends episode or the Office episode, where it's like you don't have to worry about taking time to find a good workout or a good show because we have something specific for you. But walking back in, before we even thought about how to develop a workout generator, we know that workout generators, they carry a lot of baggage in the industry. And so we really wanted to, digest these concerns and understand the shortcomings. And ultimately, what we felt is that most workout generators they fall short for one of two key reasons. And the first one is, they don't have any context for who they're making this workout for. They don't know that individual's goal, they don't know their level, they don't know their typical workout duration, and ultimately they don't know how to appropriately size the amount of work in a given workout. So outside of traditionally not having context for an individual, they also like truly there is an art to workout and program design. And just to be blunt, most workout generators, they don't have this art built into the underlying logic. So those two kind of became our guiding principles when we were working with the data science team and all our developers for creating the daily lift. We wanted to ensure that not only are these workouts personalized, but that they're some of the most personalized workouts that we have in our tonal ecosystem. And then, in addition to being rooted in our performance science principles, we really did want these workouts to be, almost like artistically designed and to really uphold the rigors of our content development standards. So it truly was this blend of, the art and the science here. And now, because I'm on the performance science team, I'm happy to dive into some of the underlying science principles. And as with everything, we really do orient around what's available in the literature. And some of the key principles that inform this feature are individualization, specificity, and progressive overload. On the individualization front, as you mentioned early on, Brooke, we're accounting for your muscle readiness. So we're going to give you every single day, we're going to update the workout to the muscle groups that you are most recovered and prepared to work out that given day. And then we're also going to look at your preferences and then also your recent training history to see what's that sweet spot of your typical session length to make sure that we're meeting you where you're at and we're not giving you a workout that you don't have time to perform. And when it comes to sizing it, we're going to look at what's the size of the workouts you've been performing on your own for the past 8 weeks and how much volume are you typically performing? And then what's your weekly target that you're trying to hit? So all three of those factors, fall under this individualization bucket. On the specificity front, in the beginning, the daily lift is really going to try to help you, achieve your goals of muscle growth. And we know that, mechanical tension is one of the prerequisites for muscle growth. So we're indexing all of the training variables in these workouts, including the specific exercises and the loads and the rep schemes to really maximize for this mechanical tension, to be specific in the outcomes that we're trying to drive with these workouts. And then on the progressive overload front, we're leveraging that same logic from the weekly targets we introduced not too long ago. And essentially, we're going to start by giving you the amount of volume you're most prepared to perform. And then we're slowly going to nudge you forward just to expose you to a little bit more in volume week over week to make sure that you're progressing and that you can ultimately achieve the desired adaptations you're looking for. So again, these workouts are individualized. They're specific to muscle growth, and they're also going to progress you over time, which is, helps us on the performance team sleep a little bit easier at night. And now on the art side of things, traditionally there's often these unwritten rules in the industry that make a workout feel, smooth, intentional, and effective. And ultimately, it was our job to take these unwritten rules and work with our data science team to actually write them down, which was a really fun exercise. And some of the specific levers that we had to pull and sort of rules we had to develop were pretty in depth. And so everything from which muscle groups can you pair within a workout, which muscle groups should you not pair in a workout, how many blocks should you create, and then which specific exercises can be paired with one another, and then everything from the pacing, the flow, when dynamic weight modes should be applied and when they should not be applied. So everything I just mentioned, we have a series of rules and frameworks for how to implement to really create that artistic craft. So nothing really pops in there that looks like, like that shouldn't really be there. And so in the end, the result of these workouts, they're going to come across as being rooted in performance science principles, curated to your specific preferences, and really come across as this high quality workout that we're, really happy to introduce to our members.
I love hearing you talk about this, Jacob, because I think just being involved in the process, like it really was so iterative, right? Like that total blend of art and science, to your point, and really what I think is a staple for features at Tonal is, how do we take something that really requires such just deep human understanding, knowledge, and be able to translate that into something scalable that can benefit all of our members, which is where, of course, the data science and our development teams come in. But I just can't even begin to underscore, I think, even Jacob, how much work you did individually in reviewing just, thousands and thousands of workouts, making the tiniest of suggestions and tweaks to really ensure that every, single implementation of like the models that we have pulled together really are going to deliver the most effective workouts possible. So the bar is really high. And that's why we're so excited to have you guys, start jumping into these workouts, getting to really experience the difference that comes when you are able to truly bring in these performance science principles. And you can feel confident that this stands up to our programming standards, which is so exciting. Now, you talked a little bit about muscle groups and how we determine, the right focus for you to have in a given day. And would love to better understand exactly how we went about doing that and the integration of muscle readiness.
Yeah, I mean the concept's pretty intuitive. We determine which muscle groups are fresh based off of our, internal muscle readiness algorithm. And on the member side, you see this come to life today as that, visually color-coded skeleton on the trainer. And behind the scenes, it's a bit more complex, but again, it's pretty simple. We're going to every single day look at all your major muscle groups, and we're simply just going to prioritize the ones that are most recovered and ready to train. So that's kind of the on the muscle group side, it's assessing where you are and then mainly surfacing, what you're most prepared to perform every single day.
Awesome. And the other, key kind of factor involved is on the side of estimated volume. And you talked about, we worked on training goals together and the launch of personalized weekly
Mhm.
targets. So can you talk a little bit about exactly how Daily Lift gets to your estimated volume, then integrates it into your workout?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big thing for us to focus on because, again, when we understand the concerns of what, a custom, an automated workout generator might find is if you go online, sometimes you might find something that's, 90 minutes long that you don't have the time to perform. So we really wanted to be individualized both in the volume, but also, the session length and the duration. So On the volume front, we're indexing the exact same logic from the weekly targets. So we're looking at your 8 week average for the amount of volume that you've performed. And then we also have an understanding of how many workouts you tend to perform in a given week. So that helps us take the ultimate goal of where you want to get to by the end of the week, but then appropriately sizing it at each individual workout and not only having the right volume, but also putting that volume in the right duration of time, which is, it really does come through as feeling like, oh, this is sort of exactly what I was looking for. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but so far that's some of the feedback that we've been getting is the size of these workouts really do come through as being personalized.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really was important to us that while Daily Lift is not a program, there is still this, consistent thread of progression where if you continue to show up, you're doing your daily lifts on a weekly basis, you can feel confident that Tonal understands, we know what you need to do next to get to the next level. So we should be really supportive of your goals and ensure that when you're ready, maybe to jump back into guided workouts, you're totally equipped kind of based on your trajectory, which is super exciting because I know, our members really are so concerned with wanting to ensure that, you keep that line of progression and we continue to think about features that can fit into our training goal ecosystem to ensure that you're always progressing.
Yeah, and just one thing to add on that is we are always going to dynamically respond to you, which is something unique to the daily lift. And it's, built into our weekly targets. But traditionally, if you're doing a guided content, we have fixed sets and reps. And obviously, the individual load will adjust as you get stronger. But as you progress in your daily lift, if you start to, accumulate longer sessions or accumulate more volume, the size of the daily lift workouts is going to respond accordingly. So again, every aspect of the daily lift is personalized and dynamic. So we're just going to really continue to meet you where you're at, no matter where you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about this a bit, but initially this is a beta feature. As of today, it's focused on optimizing around muscle growth. We know we have a host of other training goals, and I'd love to hear a bit more about, for our members who have other training goals that they want to prioritize, how can they think about integrating daily lift into their routine?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny in the industry, we're really just seeing that the basics are so effective when it comes to improving outcomes at every age from, muscle math and strength and just life performance. So ultimately, what matters most is just getting under resistance and performing work. That truly is going to be the foundation for every goal on Tonal. But we do want to be hyper specific if you do have a specific goal. So, the muscle growth daily lift in the beginning is going to really be a great fit for you if you have muscle growth or even if you have weight loss, endurance, or strength. You can find a lot of value in these workouts as is. If you do have a more performance or movement related goal, like movement quality or functional strength, you can still find a ton of value in these workouts. And if you do want that next level of personalization, you can always tap into the workout and get a feel for if it has the movements and the load that you're, prepared for or expecting on a given day. And if not, you can always customize the workout and make a tweak or two. So if it's a bit too much volume for you and you want maybe a little bit more intensity, you can lower the reps in the workout, and then that's going to bump up the relative intensity for each of the reps. Or if it's a bit too muscle growth oriented for you with these, bilateral moves and you want to adjust the base of support and add some unilateral or alternating moves, you can swap out a move or two either in real time with the movement replacements, or again, customizing the workout to your needs. So I do think even if your goal is not muscle growth, either it's going to be a good fit for you, or with one or two subtle personalization tweaks, it's going to really be a good fit for you in the end. So yeah, I am excited for that. We know that so many people do have muscle growth as their primary goal, but genuinely, functional strength is one of my personal goals, and I'm still finding a lot of benefit and utility from here. So that's how it sort of integrates into my routine. I'd be curious to flip it back to you now, Brooke. How
Yeah.
do you envision being, the product mastermind behind this? all of our members integrating daily lift into their routines.
Yeah, yeah. I think what was really important about developing a feature like this that can be so adaptive is that it can fit into anyone's routine. So no matter how you train today on Tonal, whether you like to enroll in programs, you like to do one-off workouts, or maybe you're in the lab doing your own custom workouts or jumping into free lift, the goal really is around coming back to that point on reducing decision fatigue, putting time back in your day, taking that mental load off so you can really just focus on showing up. And that's true across the board. So certainly, for a one-off workout, if that's your preference, you're just looking for something that day, I would expect that you're able just to jump on to Tonal, click start, maybe make some customizations if you'd like, always available, as Jacob just mentioned, but really not have to think or pre-plan at all. Now, alternatively, if you are someone who likes to plan, you're like, I want to join a program and I have specific goals that I'm going to achieve in this program. Daily Lift is such a great either supplement. So maybe your program is, 3 days a week and you would love to add a fourth or fifth day. Now that's always available for you to top up. We heard that in the closed beta, actually, that we were lucky to have some of our members enrolled in the last month. That was a key point of value for them, as being able to top up on their program. There was also a lot of value in, again, it's summer, we're all traveling, changing schedules, you have less time, or maybe just a little bit more tired, let's be honest, and you just don't have it in you that day. You can make those adjustments to your daily lift or just try something different. And then, of course, for our custom and free lifters, it is certainly going to be, a quicker way for you to get to a truly personalized workout while also getting that benefit of these programming standards that are so rigorously, developed on our performance side to ensure that every workout is personalized to you, but you don't have to put in any of the effort or time associated with building that workout. So I'm very excited about this. I trained in all of these ways on Tonal, so it's been fun to even just for myself to integrate into my routine. And I think it's just nice knowing that no matter what, when I walk up to Tonal, check out my Today tile, I know I'm going to have something there.
Yeah, I love that. And I will just add a personal anecdote to that. I tend to do either custom or free lift workouts most of the time. And even though, I have a background of how to create a program, sometimes I tend to just fall into this rut of doing the same moves and, pushing myself some days at like 80% of where I should really be. And I had a little aha moment where I was excited to have our members start to experience this, where I just clicked daily lift and it was new programming styles and I ended up enjoying it instantly in that workout. And then it had, an extra round or two per block. So I ended up accumulating a bit more work than I do when I program my own workout. So I do think, like you said, like wherever you fall on this spectrum, you can find a way to incorporate daily lift into your routines. And, again, it'll be there for you every day. So you don't have to worry about it. On the notion of it being there for you, our tonal ecosystem is vast. We have the mobile app, we have different tabs on Trainer. Would you be able just to tell our members, all the different places that they could find a daily lift workout?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are so excited to get you guys trying out this feature. Again, it's in beta, so we are all ears for your feedback. You can find Daily Lift when you log into your Tonal. In most cases, you're going to see it right on your Today tile. The one case this is different is if you're enrolled in a program and you're actively completing program workouts, we've really streamlined your Today tile and deprioritized Daily Lift so you can focus on your program workout. But again, because we know that people are absolutely still loving this in programs, you can always jump into your For You page as well as the custom workouts page where you can just go to the custom by tonal row and you'll be able to jump into your daily lift there. So we've made it as easy as possible so you can always just jump in quite quickly when you know you want to jump in that day. There's also ways to access on the mobile app, again, on the Today tile For You page, or you can select your daily lift when you're building your own custom workout. And then one thing I also want to highlight, we've been talking about this a lot, but the customization. So today, if you want to customize your workout, you're going to do so on the mobile app. You can scan this QR code easily if you are on your tonal from the workout details. This will take you directly into the mobile app. And here you're going to be able to either customize, change your target duration, your target muscle groups. And then as soon as you click update, you're going to see that immediately reflected on your tonal. So that's also just really fun to see as you're kind of going through, playing around with all these different variations. And once you found the one, you're able to just jump right into it. And it's super seamless. I will note that if you want to make other customizations outside of this, we definitely recommend saving your daily lift. This lets you manipulate a ton of the different variables, like Jacob mentioned, whether it's a number of reps, or even making movement replacements. You can do so in the mobile app ahead of time, or as always, on your tonal before your workout or during your workout to make it as precise as you would like. And of course, if you are enjoying your daily lift workout, definitely recommend saving it so you don't lose it and you can do it again anytime you'd like. I have definitely been saving some of these workouts myself because sometimes they're just too good and I'm like, I need to do this again. I can't let this one go. So yeah, we're definitely super excited to have everyone, trying this out, giving us feedback. Again, cannot reiterate enough just how important your feedback is to us. We take it really seriously. And when we think about how we can enhance this feature in the future, you guys are at the top of the list and we think about how we can improve upon this. So we definitely appreciate it. Jacob, is there anything else you want to top up on before we wrap up?
No, I just wanted to say looking forward to the feedback. We really appreciate it. And, just seeing that slide you put together, it really just made me realize, how far we've come as on the development side and all the different teams that played a role in here from the front end developers, back end, our design and data science. So we're all really excited internally to get this in the hands of our members. And yeah, just seeing that, I had a moment where I was like, oh wow, it's there, it's ready. And so yeah, just excited to get some feedback.
Absolutely. Thank you all. And if you do have any questions, of course, always feel free to post in the official Tonal community. Our team would love to hear from you. And yeah, give us your post-workout feedback when you're done. We're always looking to improve. And thank you guys for taking the time to listen to our new feature, and we hope you enjoy.